I want us to spend just a brief moment talking about hidden unforgiveness, because there's a reality that forgiveness can have some vocabulary that we think is forgiveness. And so we might be saying, oh yes, I've forgiven them, and but then we're not feeling it, or we're still dealing with some things that we're kind of like, what's going on? I know I've forgiven them. What's the problem? So let's just see if maybe there's some hidden unforgiveness. So here's the first one. I'm so over that. That was years ago. There's a reality that there are times where we use that vocabulary, but what we're actually doing is pushing that pain back. Because we might have an understanding of, I can't change the past. That's true. You cannot change the past. However, there's a difference between understanding that we can't change the past and not dealing with the past. We have to deal with it. And so check yourself. Are there instances, are there situations, are there people in your life where this is what you do emotionally? I'm over that. That was years ago. There's nothing I can do about it. That can be hidden unforgiveness, or a reality of pain we're not allowing ourselves to deal with. Another one is, and sadly, I've heard this taught in the Christian church, take them off of your hook and put them onto God's. Now, that's a novel idea if we understand God's hook. But sadly, when that's as deep as that teaching goes, is take them off your hook and put them on God's, it sounds pretty vengeful. It sounds like, yeah, you're right. God would be way better at getting back at them than me. The wicked do not prosper. You know, I've said it. And so we imagine like, yeah, I'm going to let God punish you. I'm not going to punish you. I'm going to let God punish you. And so we haven't really forgiven them. We're actually hoping, and maybe not, maybe we haven't consciously thought about it, but there's an unconscious reality of like, yeah, you'll get yours. Now, let's think about God's hook. God's hook is grace. God's hook is Jesus, forgiveness, salvation, peace, love. God is love. Love keeps no record of wrongs. So God's hook, yes, let's put them on God's hook of grace. And so check yourself with these. There's also, when we're talking about, because in forgiveness, we're not just talking about forgiving others, we're also talking about forgiving ourselves. And I want you to check yourself about unforgiveness. Do you use words like, I'm just so ashamed of that. I just regret. I'm so disappointed. You fill in those blanks. You may not like what I have to say, but that could be some unforgiveness. When we are looking behind us instead of being in the present, there's a reality that unforgiveness could be a key there. So think about those hidden avenues of unforgiveness, and just sit with the Lord and say, do I have some of that? Is there some shame, some regret, some disappointment? And that could be in other people too. And question yourself, what's my definition of disappointment? Why am I disappointed in them? Go deeper with those emotions, with those feelings. Ask yourself, am I just pushing down pain with words like, I'm over that. There's nothing I can do about that. We just have to move on. That was years ago. Are we just pushing it, or are we dealing with it? Because forgiveness happens when we're dealing with it, in the awareness of it, not the pushing it down. So sit with those today and I'd love to hear from you on the Facebook group page, your questions, your comments, your thoughts, what the Lord showed you. Be blessed.